Wayne in Albuquerque, New Mexico, listening on KABQ. Hey, Wayne, what's up?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to make a quick comment about what a mess I find Obamacare to be. I have a health plan under Obamacare. Well, actually, for the last several years. Before that, I was self-employed, so I kind of know what it's like to be out on the market and get a plan. The biggest issue that I'm finding right now is whenever I've had to use it, and I don't use it much, in addition to my co-payment, I get endless bills that fall under the category of co-insurance.
Yeah.
And so you do your co-payment, and you think you're okay, and then these bills start flying in, and when you try to appeal the bills, of course, you go to level 1 and level 2 hearings, and the people on
and
the
these are what's your health insurance company, Wayne?
I'm with probably the largest healthcare company in New Mexico. You know, I guess I'll just say they have a religious-sounding name.
Yeah.
Rather than
well, you can say the name. There's no problem with that.
Oh, Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. Okay, I'm unfamiliar with them.
And they're just.
I know that we have a friend who has a small business, and they just moved from Blue Cross Blue Shield to United Healthcare, and boy, what a difference! The Blue Cross Blue Shield was paying bills for healthcare and for pretty much everything. United Healthcare basically challenges everything. Every single time somebody submits a claim, they say no, and then you got to fight them on everything. And this is how Stephen J. Hemsley has become worth over $1 billion. He's the CEO of United Healthcare. This is the problem with Obamacare, Wayne, is that it depends on private insurance companies to deliver the goods. It basically inserts banksters between us and our healthcare providers. Now, that's the problem with the system that we had for 100 years before Obamacare, too. And this is why Bernie Sanders is saying, get the banksters out of the business, because these health insurance companies are actually banksters. All they do is handle money, and they do it very selectively. And they do it in ways that are designed to increase their profits regardless of the health consequences to you or to me. And that's why we need to go with a system where there's no profit motive, there's no banksters in the middle. And that's what Bernie is suggesting, is just let everybody in America enroll in Medicare. And Medicare runs on a 3% overhead rather than 15, 20, 25, 30% overhead that you see with some of these health insurance companies. And the way that overhead is actually, inflated salaries for their CEOs, marketing costs, dividends to their stockholders, fancy headquarters, all this kind of stuff. We don't need this industry. Other countries function just fine without even having that industry. Or you shrink that industry down to the size where it's basically just for wealthy people who want to be able to have, quote, a health insurance policy that will make sure that they get, a private room, or they get flown about in a private jet if they get sick or something. And, let them pay the $30,000 or $50,000 a year for. And Ted Cruz's wife was a Wall Street banker, and she was getting her health insurance, as I recall, cost $44,000 a year. And it's like it's incredible. And then she stopped working there, and so I think he went on Obamacare. I think Ted Cruz did. No, he took the.
I don't know.
Oh, he changed his mind.
I do have a follow-up question too.
Yeah.
My follow-up question is this, Tom. If you do have a bone spur removed from your foot, it's uncomfortable. You go to in-network care, and it's a day surgery. What do you think should be, just guessing off the top of your head, the price for a procedure like that? What should be the?
I don't have a clue. The one thing I do know is it's going to cost twice as much in the United States as it will in any other developed country. What do they charge you?
$3,300.
$3,300. Well, that's not that. I was expecting 5 figures, not 4. But Wayne, thanks a lot for the call. It's not perfect. Nobody's claiming it's perfect. Obamacare, there should have been a public option. Medicare should have been one of the options. And hopefully, if we get a Democratic president and we can flip the Senate and the House, which I think is possible, we can do that.
You're listening to Thom Hartmann. Visit thomhartmann.com for audio and video archives.
But as long as Republicans are in charge of Congress, don't hold your breath.